Hi everyone, welcome to the Workgroup Serving Benchmarking Tool Contributors meeting. Today is July 24th. Let's go over the items here, and if you have any open topics or specific things you would like to cover, please add them here and add yourself to the attendees as well. Okay, we can get started with the V0.1 1.1 readiness. Let me open this here. So we had our 0.1 release a little while back, and since then we have made a bunch of bug fixes, and we have made some improvements to make sure the benchmark works solidly. So it would be good to get 0.1.1 release. I would say the main thing to add to this would be like our PyPy package at least too. I think Shen is working on this one. Um, there is an open item here. But I think once that is there, and like a bug fix for total count and stuff like that in, then you should be able to cut the 0.1.1 release. So it's a much more stable version than the one we have published so far. Yeah, anyone wants to get anything specifically in for 0.1.1?
Uh,
If there is any,
when are we
let me
planning?
know.
Yeah, when are we planning to cut the release?
Release, I'm trying to see mainly the PyPy package, and that's the one we are waiting for. Um, so maybe early next week.
Got it. So there's a
Yeah.
piece. I can try to get it in, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to like do it by early next week.
Which one is it, Aishwarya?
So support for TGI. Am I audible? Like clearly?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Okay.
can. Yeah, I can hear you. Support for TGI. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that might be good to add, but yeah, maybe for 1.1, since it's more of a bug fix and making minor
Right.
improvements, might be okay to get it into the um, next one.
Got it. Yeah. Sounds good.
Cool. Yeah. Let's go over the open issues too, where we can see if there are any open bugs that uh, we need to prioritize for the release. Cool. So let's start with the new issue triage. So we have support to open source traces in data and load generators. Yeah, so here they're asking for if there are existing traces, can we actually play that through the tool? I know, Brendan, you worked on producing traces. What do you think about this one?
I would need to take another look at this, but I could take another look.
Yeah, mainly I think the goal here is like if they are in some format, right? With like timestamp input output tokens, then we should potentially be able to replay this through our load generator, right? Um, and they have provided like multiple examples here. Yeah, so one possibility here is like we define a specific format, and then use that to send requests from traces. The other option is like support multiple formats, right? Like maybe Azure Public Dataset is one, and Mooncake, and this one being the other. Yeah, it would be good to, yeah, go ahead, Brent.
Oh, yeah, sorry. One thing that was super helpful was at least for debugging was, especially when you have failed responses, to be able to print the error message as well.
Yep.
Or to just dump the entire response body in here.
Yeah. So the trace, I think it makes sense. This is for replaying the trace, right? Not just generating the trace from the benchmark tool, but being able to replay it. But yeah, having the error message there makes sense to me. Yeah, and one more thing we can look at is like right now we are producing the full request trace, right? If someone wants to replicate that exact benchmarking with the same set of requests and whatnot, they should be able to take that trace and replay it through our tool, right? Where we send the request at the right times we have called out there. That would be a good feature to have, in addition to some of the open source traces. Okay, yeah, I'll respond on this one and see if they are interested in contributing, and we'll take it from there. The time to first token, these being null, I think this is mainly due to not setting streaming true.
I can second that. Yeah, that's correct.
Right, that's the time when we don't show these metrics. Otherwise, it should show up. Okay, let's see if let me take the needs triage label out from here. We'll see if they mark this as triage needs information, and there isn't much, we can close it. Okay, this is on plain opened. This is around total count. Yeah, this is a known issue. It's a simple one that Jason is addressing. So mainly when you specify the input output distribution, there is a total token count here. I mean, total request count here. This needs to be higher than the maximum number of requests that you're sending, right? In this case, it's 28 into 120. So this can be over 1,000. So yeah, right now you need to manually figure that out, which doesn't make as much sense. So ideally, we should just automate this and make this an optional field, which is what Jason is doing here. Let me remove the needs triage. Allow an explicit timeout to be set on request. Load generator should support an optional timeout. I think this also talks about failures a little bit, right? Nice to indicate the number of failures and timeouts. We do indicate the failures today, right? In our report and also the traces.
We do there, yeah.
Yeah. So Yeah, let me respond to this one. But the main thing here is like an optional timeout. I think this should be simple enough to add. What do you think, Brendan?
Yeah, that should not be very difficult to add.
Yeah, so that way, like if they want to short circuit some of the client timeout errors or other issues, it can fail fast, right? And the
Yeah.
percentage of time request fails also seems like a good one to have, because sometimes when you specify like 5 minutes, it runs sends requests for all 5 minutes with every single request failing, right? Um, it would be good to short circuit when you reach like a 20% failure, 50% failure, whatever it is, in the first minute or so, right?
Absolutely agree. This, especially from my perspective as well, this would be super useful.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know, Brendan, if you have time to look into this one, or I don't know if Jason has some time to take this up to the existing
I
one.
I could take the time to look at this one and the other one early next week.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah. Then I'll assign this to you, and you can look into that. Allow inference of command line to be used for quick sweeps against multiple models. So this is sort of a big one with like multiple requests. Write one the same test against multiple different servers. Updating the config for each one is duplication because you need to have multiple config files. So can we override some of this via the CLI flag? Right, maybe just the endpoint and a couple of things. Yeah, I think this is something we should be able to add. Want to test many models without varying the model, but I have to specify tokenizer directly. Yeah, so this one, like, can we not have to explicitly specify tokenizer? This is doable as well. A simpler one like this is to override it on the CLI. Changing report directories on the fly. To not overwrite the existing results. Yeah, right. This with the existing one, we already write to a new named directory, right? Like the date, and maybe we can make sure we don't overwrite. That would be good. I often have to manually adjust parameters of sweeping request rate to find the inflection points from saturation. Yeah, this request rate sweep is something that's already in our plans. So this is something we should address. I often want to run multiple different input output regimes. Yeah, this is sort of in the plans to run. We support like different input output token distribution. It would be good to basically allow you to run multiple of those or sweep through like different combinations. Yeah, this should be an easier one that we can add. Cool. Any thoughts on any of these? And does anyone have cycles to take up any of this specifically, let me know if you're interested in any one of this. Or if your current benchmarking requires this, then it might be good to take that up.
I'm likely going to be picking up or jumping in on the 4th point with Jason. Possibly the 5th, if I have time.
Okay. Yeah, that would be good to add. Cool. Thanks, Brendan. Issued stage 0 QPS when streaming is disabled. I think this is something I noticed during testing where we sort of wait until the end of the 30-second duration and then send everything within like a second, right? So as a result, the QPS is much higher when the request rate is low, right? Because you're not following the specified request rate. So yeah, I think Jason had a fix for this, which we pushed. So I might close this one. Last one, display dollar per million tokens as a benchmark value. Yeah, I think this is something we should be able to do. Maybe we can take an optional dollar per hour parameter and then print this out. Could also be part of our analyze too. Yeah, thoughts on this one? I do think this is pretty useful, and a lot of folks are looking at cost data that we can help simplify. Yeah, so for now, I'll leave it in needs triage, and we'll find a sort of loaner. So model scope we went over last time. I think this should probably be addressed by the local change that Aishwarya is making, right?
Let me take a look at this issue.
Yeah, because it looks like they are using model scope as a place to download the model from and then serve it using the
Okay.
LLM.
Yeah. So I think as long as we have a server running and a location where the model is downloaded, I think we can run the offline thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would say, yeah, take a look at that one and leave any comment. And once you're able to get this one, we can probably close it.
Just that the labeling would be, I mean, I don't know, like it'll be like mode offline and but it's actually not offline. Kind of, it seems like a workaround. Are we okay with it?
Yeah, let me take a look at this one. So let's move on to OpenPRs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in here, we talked about the total count one, where we are basically going to automatically calculate this. So this should be simple enough. You can get that merged. Helm chart update. Yeah, this is something I need to take a deeper look into on how we want people to consume these Helm charts to see if adding this makes sense. If anyone else has time, please review those. I think this one is work in progress, but yeah, this would be important for us to get in before we can do the next release. And support for running InferencePerf offline. So this is the one we were discussing, right?
Right. So I've introduced like something called a mode, which will be offline and online by default. In case we want to run uh, everything in offline mode, right? If we have a model downloaded and even the data set is actually like it only depends on the data set. If the data set is already downloaded, we can set the mode to offline.
Yeah, so the
And
tokenizer plus data set makes sense.
and that will be used.
Are we using offline or online to indicate just the dataset path is local? I'm wondering if
Yeah.
without specifying the mode, just based on the path, we can decide if someone is pointing to a local path and just rely on it.
I think that makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah, I can make
that
it
makes
one
sense.
less parameter.
Yeah, because
But
offline would also indicate that the model is offline, but
is that currently being used to infer the tokenizer being offline too?
no, it's only being used to infer the data sets. That's it. So I think we
Okay,
should do the path. Yeah, it should remove this offline mode.
makes sense. Yeah, local tokenizer makes sense. It would be good to get this one in. One more thing I would like to get back to. Previously, we had it where without using a tokenizer, you could still get the token count from what the model server returns.
Mhm.
Uh, might make sense to reintroduce it if someone doesn't want the client side to calculate it fully. So that could be an extension to this. Yeah, but otherwise,
So
yeah,
why did
loading the
we
data
bring
set makes sense.
tokenizer? I
So the
think there's some lag. Uh, yeah.
yeah, so the tokenizer we added mainly because so our benchmarking client is the source of truth, right, for all the data. So on the client side, we need to decide how many requests we send, and we should also be able to parse the response to see exactly how many tokens we got, right? There is a possibility that relying on the server side, if the data is incorrect, then we might report incorrect number of tokens, right? So as a benchmarking tool, we want to make sure we are the source of truth for what gets returned. That is one. And the other reason is not all model servers might return the input output tokens as uh, part of the request response, right? So if that is not available, then we do need to compute it on our side. That's the main reason to have the tokenizer.
Got it. I think we can make it an optional thing, and if it's not passed, we can use the response, the token counts in the response.
Yeah, I think so too. Maybe after this one, we can do a separate PR to make tokenizer optional if someone doesn't want to specify it. But otherwise, yeah, having like the local mode supported makes sense to me. Cool. Yeah, FMPerf1 still going through some changes, so we are waiting to see where we land. Okay, I think that's the main set of items we have for today. Any other open topics anyone wants to bring up? Okay. If not, we'll see you all next time, and we'll collaborate in the Slack channel for the next release and figure out when we want to roll that out. Thank you.